My name is Jack Davies. I am 15 years old. I live and surf on the north coast of Cornwall. It is normal for me to go surfing after school, often alone. The north coast of Cornwall is beautiful, but it is very exposed, like many of the world's best surf spots. We have sandy beaches and rocks, lots of rocks. The best surf happens to be around rocks, but that means it's part of your routine to keep an eye on where they are. This means that you have to be very aware of which way the tides and rips are moving. So, a 60mm long gash between my eye and eyebrow, a broken nose, a concussion that's lasted 2 weeks, and all this with a helmet on. So, what happened was, on Sunday the 4th of January, an unexpected pulse of swell showed up. Mark Woolward made a few calls to Aidan Brackenbury, Jack Barker and me. Aidan was doing his best to get airborne on anything that passed, while I was being more careful and slept in the odd screamer without getting nailed. This is Mark and Jack's home break, so they were surfing well in some very familiar conditions. After about 40 minutes of surfing a peak, it started to die off, so I headed south to the next date frame. I took the next suitable wave across. Glenn's picture surprised me how big it was. It didn't feel that big. I hadn't noticed, but Mark had already taken a wave in that direction, and now he was pinned on the inside, up against the beach. Glenn and my dad said that they had watched him paddle against it for 5 minutes. It looked like he was on a treadmill. I turned and started to paddle out again. This left me in the same position as Mark, but instead of being pinned against the beach, I was pinned with rocks on 3 sides. This was definitely going to be a tricky spot to get out of. I was holding my own against the lines of white water for 3 or 4 minutes, praying for a lull. When the lull appeared, I went for it, but there was still a lot of water moving through the gully and the rocks behind me. I was paddling hard for a good minute. I was just about to make it out the gully when the first wave of the next set came through. That wave picked me up and threw me head first into the rocks to my left. The impact was huge and I was experiencing shock and panic. I exited the boat and found myself swimming amongst the rocks with lines of white water heading my way. All I could see was tainted with blood that was pouring from the gash above my eye and now dripping into the water around me. At the very same moment, my friend Josh was paddling in and had seen the mess I was in. He pulled me onto a safe rock so I could have a rest. Aidan and Jack had now spotted the problem and were running down the beach towards the rocks, where I was now resting on Josh's board. My dad drove me 55 miles to the hospital, where I had x-rays and 5 stitches. Only my nose was broken, with no lasting damage, mainly because I was wearing my helmet.